So a court in Warri Delta State has invited Very Dark Black Man to come in person or to send his lawyer to come and answer questions on what is said about Mr. Jollof. Now, you know, last month, September, there was an issue between Very Dark Man and Mr. Jollof. Why I'm reporting this case is because I know the genesis. It was a saga. It was a saga between Very Dark Man and Mr. Jollof. Let me refresh us. You know, before now, Mr. Jollof and Very Dark Man, they get gbege. B-Lord matter that time. They have an gbege. They get gbege. Now, this last section that happened in September, Mr. Jollof, part 1, Mr. Jollof was talking, saying something and made reference to Very Dark Black Man. Part 2, Very Dark Black Man played the video of Mr. Jollof and then threw jabs at Mr. Jollof. Say you would not suppose make a SSA for Delta State. You were your wife, they knack people to give you appointment. It's a long story. Part 3, Mr. Jollof came to say, they know your mama no train you well. As it means so your mama train you well, you know go to talk about my wife, you know go to talk something you know they sure of. You know go to bring in my family into waiting me and you they talk. So Mr. Jollof, part 3, tell VDM say your mama no train you well. Part 4, Mr. Very Dark Man now came and posted a picture of a hotel. Say Jollof 2014. I did way and say they catch your wife, they knock on Yahoo boy, your wife knock on Yahoo boy. You see him, you they cry. I get the video, I get the evidence, and all that and all that. So even the appointment where you get to Delta State government, so your wife knock politicians to give you that appointment. So even your children, go check one of your children. I'm not sure saying your Pekin. That was where the case suspended. Then that last month, the wife of Mr. Jollof now pushed a lawsuit to VDM, ordering him to apologize, retract the statement, and delete the video. I reported it here. I'm just refreshing us how the case may be. Now, Very Dark Man did not do that until this. Now, Mr. Jollof now posted the letters from the court, the lawsuit from the court, and then tagged Very Dark Man on Instagram. Look at it on the screen. And look at Very Dark Man's reply. You be mumu. And I don't think that was necessary. So the case is this. Currently, Very Dark Man has to report in court. It's a case of defamation. Okay. Now, a lot of people are going to say, but Senator Jollof first call him mama. Dear Nigerians, dear Africans and social media users, there is a difference between insult or yabbing and defamation. If you tell me, Paul, you be mumu, Paul, you be idiot, Paul, you be yeye person, you be no get sense, they know you no go school, that's an insult. I can choose to ignore it. But if you come and tell me that you caught my wife knocking somebody in a hotel, now you got to prove it. You know, sometimes social media people, we are sentimental. Defamation is when you come to say something that can tarnish somebody's image. Well, if you have evidence to that and you go to court and provide the evidence, then the case closes down. So it's very, 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 very simple. Very Dark Black Man, you have to appear in court. And they say that it's a long letter. I don't want to start reading it. If Very Dark Man does not appear before the end of this month and the case is judged, Very Dark Man will have to face anything. So the case is simple. They told him one that he has to pay 500 million naira defamation. He has to apologize. He has to publish it in national dailies. You know, sometimes we don't know the power of social media until it concerns you. Very Dark Man, I go talk him. Whether your fans go agree or not, you were wrong to bring in the wife of Jollof. As it mean you talk say Jollof wife, you be mumu, Jollof wife, you no get sense. That's another yabbing plus yabbing. That balances it. But you see some things we say on social media. It's called defamation. You, before you start arguing or judging or supporting anybody, if not you and your fellow man they yab on herself, that man can't tell you say in 2014, say your wife knock Yahoo boy for hotel for Warri Delta State and make you go check your children. Say one of them no be your Pekin. And say your wife knock people to give you the current job or the current appointment you have right now. How will you feel? I will not feel fine, and I will do the same thing Jollof is doing right now. Come and prove it in court. If you can prove it in court, then the case dies off. Then I will be sure. Because sometimes you know they think of the future. That's why I say if you never marry or begin build family, you know go understand the meaning of defaming your wife or your husband or your parents. If nothing is done now, maybe in the next 10-15 years, and the video comes up, they feel begin tell the children of Jollof, no be person knock your mama for hotel, they born you, no be your papa born you. So there are psychological effects to some things we say. Well, Very Dark Man, go to court and provide proof. If you cannot provide proof, there's a consequences. You pay fine or you go to jail for 3 months. That's the consequences, or 6 months. That is the consequences of defamation of character. And like I say, before you cite anybody on this particular case, if not you and your fellow man they talk. Okay, assuming say of Jollof first insult VDM mama, say they no your mama no train you well. VDM for stone and bag now. Your own mama no train you well. your wife no train you well, your wife no take care of you well. That's yabbing plus yabbing, man to man. But you see, your wife go knack for hotel, go check your wife. I no sure say one of the pikin na your own. Your wife knack politicians for Delta State to give you your job. Guys, it is wrong. But social media people, well, they like a fees, they like, well, this is not so the matter be now. So that man prove it, and maybe we'll go join Yahoo or start Yahoo for you to raise money for all this defamation. There is difference between yabbing, insulting, and defamation. Defamation gets consequences. That's why sometimes I know they report some cases here because I want to hear from the other person. I want to be sure, because if you say something and you cannot prove it in law court, you go pay better fine or you go to jail, no matter who you are. And so the matter there right now, how on see them? Let's discuss.